Okay, so the recording has been started. So let us do a quick recap about the yesterday session, right? Yesterday we have just started the Java introduction, right? So the Java, as per the Indian standards, the Java has been categorized into three types, which is core Java, advanced Java, and again sometimes they call it as like J2EE. Right? So exactly this is a wrong way of addressing Java. Why it is a wrong way? We have discussed that yesterday. So instead of saying core Java, right, you can go for what? As per the Oracle Corporation documentation, it is suggested to say, it is already written that core Java is nothing but the Java J2SE or Java SE, which means Java Standard Edition. It is just an acronym. So why this 2 is coming in between? I have explained that exact yesterday because majority of the Java features are added in Java 1.2 version. Okay, that's why they incorporated this number 2 in between these acronyms. So J2SE is an acronym for Java 2 Standard Editions. 2 means since the majority of the changes or majority of the features are incorporated in the 1.2 version, so they included this too. Nothing else. It is not even it is kind of a significant number just to elaborate what is J2SE or what is JS, or you can simply say Java Standard Edition, which is called as what core Java. So whenever you are preparing the resume, make sure that you are using Java Standard Edition. Don't use core Java. Right? So what we are going to get after learning core Java? A core Java is going to cover only the fundamentals, Java fundamentals of Java programming language. All the fundamentals will be covered. Right? So by learning these fundamentals, what kind of application one can develop? That is the actual question, because since you have started learning Java, what you're going to get just by learning Java fundamentals, okay, you can develop standalone application. And again, what is a standalone application? Right? I said any application, any software application, okay, that is standing alone. When I say standing alone, that is limited to the particular system. For example, if you have your computer, right, you can see many applications in your computer, such as notepad. You can see example, so you can see the calculator, you can see the clock, you can see the notepad, you can see the paint screen. So these applications are limited to your system. It means it's a standalone application. It can function without using the internet. It does not want to depend upon the external dependencies. Without even having the internet connection, you can work with these applications, right? So by learning the core Java, you will get familiarity to develop the standalone application, right? So I've given explanation about what is standalone application in the yesterday session. And again, in the RTM market, okay, there are only 5% demand for developing the standalone application. Then you must be thinking, if there is only 5% demand, what's the point of learning Java? Okay. The demand is only 5%, but the dependency is 1000%, 1000%. Right? If you want to move to advanced Java, if you want to move to any frameworks, okay, the core Java knowledge is very, very necessary. Without learning core Java, you cannot build your career if you want to learn some other tools. At the same time, for example, if you want to learn any testing course, if you want to learn any Selenium in the future, okay, the core Java is mandatory. Very, very important. Right? Hope you are able to follow. Right? So we have understood what is the Java 2 standard edition or core Java. Then we got to know what is Java EE or J2EE. Okay? It is an acronym for Java 2 Enterprise Edition. So we know this already. So in our Indian syllabus or the textbooks, we usually call it as advanced Java. So whenever you are keeping in the resume, make sure that you are using J2 Java 2 Enterprise Edition or J2EE. Right? So you can develop server-side programming. I have explained you about the server-side programming in the yesterday session very clearly. You can develop distributed application or enterprise application. Any banking application, you can call it as enterprise application, banking application. So it means if you want to work with any banking application, what you actually need? You need to connect the server. We have seen these things yesterday, right? You need to connect with multiple systems. Okay, you need to make use of the browser to get access to the internet. Then the relevant website gets connected to the particular server to give the response, right? So the logic is distributed. See, the logic is getting distributed to multiple systems. It's not limited to the single system. Single system means standalone application. Multiple system means distributed application or enterprise applications. Just the theory part. You just get acquainted with these terminologies. That's it, right? So with J2EE, we can develop 95% of the application, right? So majority of our effort should be in J2SE. 90% of your effort should be J2SE. Only the remaining 10% of the effort should be on top of J2EE. So once you get familiar with J2SE, this becomes a cakewalk. Going to be very easy. Making sense? And again, we have seen that J2ME, it is nothing but micro addition. So to develop, to write micro programming, if you want to develop any applications on top of mobile hardware systems, everyone are using mobiles, so we download a lot of apps, and each and every app is working as per the programming language. So to develop such applications that is applicable for mobile hardware systems, you go for J2ME. Nowadays, there is no demand for J2ME because everything is taken care by this Android development. Very limited usage is there for J2ME. Very less demand is there for J2ME, right? So let us start the today's class. So the class 2, right? So the class 2, today we are going to start discussing about the Java history. What is it? Java history, right? And after completing this Java history, I want you all to understand the difference between. I will help you to understand the difference between the Java and the other programming languages. So when I say others, I just want to do the differentiation with C and C++. Why Java has become very popular than C and C++? So that understanding is actually required, isn't it? Necessity, right? And what are the major Java features, right? The fourth one is we have something like Java naming conventions. So when I say naming conventions, Java is the case-sensitive programming language. I will tell you, we are going to see everything in detail. Java is the case-sensitive programming language. It is like this print and this print. Okay? This print and this print is both are completely different as per the Java programming language, because you there are some methods, there are some classes, or there are some variable names, okay, that is actually taking care of the case sensitivity. So it is going to follow the case sensitivity. If it is small letter, it should be small letter. If it is capital letter, it should be a capital letter. So that is how the Java will understand. Java will treat this as a different word, and this it will be treated as a different word. Why? Because as per the cases, okay, as per the letters, okay, it is starting with lowercase and this is starting with uppercase. So as for the Java, it is completely different. For us, it is okay. Both are print. Okay, you can pronounce it like what print, but for Java, it is not like that. So to understand this, we must understand Java naming conventions. We are going to see this in detail. Very, very important for developing the program. Very, very important, this topic. Right? And the fifth one, the Java programming format. Okay. So after completing this, after completing all this, we are going to start writing the first Java program. Let us understand something about the Java history. Okay. So when I say Java history, is it really required to understand about Java history? When you ask me, it's not that important, but I would suggest that this is for the information point of view. Since we started learning Java, we must understand its history and why Java has been developed, and why it has become powerful than C and C++, and why it is leading in the market. To understand all this, we must understand the Java history. Right? Shall we proceed? Yes, no? Are we good so far? Type S in the chat box. Everyone, type S in the chat box. Are we good so far? Ensure that the session is interactive. It will be very, very interesting going forward. Okay then. Java is. Okay. So if I ask you when was the Java first version was released in the market, okay, you should never forget this question. Okay, the Java first version was introduced in the year 1996. Okay, in the month of January. Okay, on 23rd. Okay, so Java JDK 1.2, JDK 1.0 was released on this particular date. Never ever forget this question. This was introduced on 1996 January 23rd, JDK 1.0, the first version. Okay. So why the Java came into the picture? What is the reason behind the introduction of Java? What is the reason behind the Java introduction? Why Java was introduced? So that is the actual question everyone must be thinking, right? The reason behind this. In 1991, exactly in 1991, let me go to the paint screen. Okay. So there was a company, guys. There was a company. The name of the company is Sun Microsystem. Okay. The Sun Microsystems, they add some requirement in the market. What is that requirement? So they want to prepare a software for electronic devices. Very, very, the competitive requirement they have received. The actual requirement is they want to develop a software. They want to develop a software for electronic devices. Okay, so they want to develop a software for the electronic devices, right? So what they decided. So electronic devices, such things are like the remote control. Remote control is also an electronic devices. Okay, and dishes, sky dish. Now what is sky dish? It is like cable TV operators, television networks. Okay, for traffic signals or traffic signal device. Okay, these are the highly demanded electronic devices at that time. So they want to develop a software for the electronic devices, right? So in order to achieve this, they have created a team. They have created a team of how many members? Team of 30 members. Okay. So 30 members. So they are the 30 members. So for every team, there must be some team leaders, or no? Okay. So the team leader was, James Gosling was selected as a team leader. Okay. So he's the person you know who is he? Okay. The name of this person is what? James Gosling. He is called as what? The father of Java. Father of Java. Right. So they have created the team of 30 members, and James Gosling is a team leader, and who is even called as what? The father of Java. Right. So along with the James Gosling, there is some other person. The name of the other team member is what? Patrick Nathan. Okay. Patrick Nathan. Okay, so actually all the credit has been gone to James Gosling, but the Patrick Norton has also given his best to develop the software software language for the electronic devices. So he's also one of the member along with James Gosling. It is just like this, guys. Okay, when you watch cricket, in cricket in India especially, you cannot say you cannot actually fix who is the great player. For example, if you take Dhoni, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, or if you take Virat Kohli, okay, So each both are very famous in India. You cannot really conclude that who is famous. Okay, it depends upon the era. Many are many of them, okay, many of them, they support Dhoni, and many of them they support Virat Kohli. So both are very good in batting, and both have their own talent, and both have contributed a lot to the Indian cricket. You cannot say who is best. You cannot declare that MS Dhoni is the father of cricket or Virat Kohli is the father of Indian cricket. It is not like that. Both are good, right? Likewise, James Gosling and Patrick Norton is as good as James Gosling. However, the credit has been given to what? James Gosling due to various reasons internally. So Patrick Norton is also a highly reputed person who has given a lot of contribution to develop this software. But when it comes to the interview question, who is the father of Java? The known person name is what? James. He's the James Gosling, right? So what happened? They have divided a team of 30 members, and James Gosling and Patrick Norton are they are the team leaders, and they started developing the project. And the name of the project is what? The Green Project. Okay, sir, this will be very, very interesting. The project has been named as what? The Green Project. Right? After naming the Green Project, the company, the Sun Microsystem, has said very clearly, hey guys, I want you to develop a project. So it should be a programming language. I want you to develop a programming language, and the name of the project is a Green Project. But the programming language should have the following requirements. Programming language. So their intention is to develop a new programming languages. Till then, there were programming languages like C, C++, Pascal, Basic, Algo. So many languages are there. Okay, but they do not want to depend on those programming languages to develop a software for electronic devices. They want to develop a new programming languages, and the new programming languages should be like, it should be the first point, very, very important point. It should be the simple programming language. Excuse me. The second one is it should be the tightly, this is the agenda, tightly coded programming language. It should be simple programming language, it should be tightly coded programming language, and it should be what? Architectural neutral. So these were the instructions, and this is the actual agenda that was given by the Sun Microsystems to the Green Project team members of about 30 members to develop a programming language that should be what? That should be simple in nature, that should be tightly coded programming language, that should be architecture neutral. Now the question comes, what is a simple programming language? Okay. So simple programming. Don't worry about the notes. Don't write any running notes. I will give you the notes in the description. Okay. So when a programming language is simple programming language, when I say something, especially in the computer world, when you pick up a programming language, you can pick up any programming language. If you say that programming language is simple in nature, you can say that it is simple only if it satisfies these three conditions. What are the three conditions? Should have less execution time. First, very, very important condition. What is that? Less execution time. Second one is what? It should be what? It should consume less memory. The third one is what? It should consume less power consumption. If it satisfies all these three requirements, guys, let me repeat. If this satisfies all these three requirements, you can blindly call that programming languages as what? The simple programming language. Okay, so this is the actual agenda. Okay, the first agenda is what? Okay, the Sun Microsystem has instructed the James Gosling team to develop a programming language that is simple in nature. And again, when I say simple, it should satisfy these three conditions: less execution time, less memory, and less power consumption. Okay, the first question is what does it mean to be a when you can call a programming language it's going to take the less execution time? So that is the question, right? Why it is important for us to keep focusing on the less execution time? Why it is really necessary? Less execution time. For example, in my career, I am a big fan of cricket, guys. I watch a lot of cricket, and at the same time, I watch sometimes I watch football also. Okay, let us say when I was doing my schooling, when I was not schooling, when I was doing my college, so there was a cricket match going on in the ESPN channel. I was doing my college. There was a cricket match going on in the ESPN channel. It was between India versus Pakistan. Okay. The channel number is, I don't remember. Let us say the channel number is 95 channel number. Okay. In another channel, there was a football match. Okay. In another channel called the Star Sports. Okay. So there was a football match going on in the channel number 101. Okay. The match is happening between Argentina and Portugal. Right. So I have a remote control. With me, I have a remote control. So since I am very much fond of cricket, this is my remote control to operate my TV. Okay, these are the two channels. Okay, and this is my TV. This is my TV. Right now, I am watching what India versus Pakistan match. In my TV, I am watching India versus Pakistan match. Okay, it is in the channel number 95. Suddenly, I got a call. I got a call from my friend. My friend is saying, "What are you doing?" I said, "I am watching the cricket match." He said, "There is a great match going between Argentina versus Portugal. So just it is about to complete. Just try to watch that match. It is very interesting." Like that, I got a call and he said, okay, then what I decided, I want to change the channel from 95 to 101. So I just pressed what? I just pressed 101 in my remote, 101. The moment I press 101, what is happening behind the scene is the TV is buffering. TV is taking a lot of time. Buffering. Okay, it is not able to switch to the new channel immediately. It has consumed almost 10 minutes. 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, what happened? The channel has been switched from ESPN to Star Sports. Okay. At the time of the switching, the football match has got over. Why football has bad score? Because my remote functionality is very bad. My TV performance is very bad. The moment I give instructions to the remote from the remote to change the channel, it has taken 10 minutes. Why it is taking 10 minutes? Because the execution time is more. Okay. The remote control. I am talking about the remote control. This remote control is the product of hardware and the software. Okay. Whenever you are, whenever the software is very effective, whenever the software is very good, whenever the software is very simple, okay, it is going to take the less execution time. The moment it is going to take more execution time, definitely we can say that performance wise it is less, right? It is less in performance. Would you prefer to buy a TV that is less in performance, which takes about 10 minutes to switch between the channels? It's not really recommended, right? What is deciding this? What is actually designing this? Deciding this? The software component inside the remote hardware is actually deciding this actually. You're able to understand. Okay, so that's a, considering all this, they thought you can create a new programming languages, but that programming language should have this future, which is what? Less execution time. When you focus on less execution time, it means what it means actually is going to be high in the performance. Right? Very important to for the programming language. They always see the execution time. They always give importance to the execution time in every programming language. So this is the first agenda. Right? Now the second agenda, less memory. Okay? And Sun Microsystem said, hey guys, first thing you address, and second thing, I also want you to have this fulfill this condition. What is the condition? It should consume less memory. So I'm living in Chennai, guys. Actually, in Chennai, there is a place called the Ritchie Street, Chennai. So there is a place next to my place, about 8 kilometers. It is called what? The street. So to the richest rate, I get all the computer components. I can purchase, I can buy all the computer components, mobile components, computer hardware, softwares, CDs, DVDs. It is famous for the electronic devices actually, right? So when I was purchasing my first desktop in the year 2012, when I was purchasing my purchasing my first desktop, I went there and I started inquiring about the computers, desktop computers. Okay, so there are many shops. So my idea is that I want to get some actual the real information about the computer price. So I cannot just visit one shop and I cannot purchase a computer. I need to check. Okay, wherever I go, they come up with the brochure or specification saying that the computer is with the 2 GB RAM. Okay, so and they also say that it has internal ST of which supports 256 GB of memory. Okay, 256 GB memory, and at last they say that it is uh, being run by Intel processor. This is one of the brochure. Okay, and when I visit the second shop, they come up with a different brochure. Okay, and instead of 2 GB, they say that okay, it is 4 GB RAM. Okay, when I visit third shop, okay, they come up with another brochure. Okay, they say instead of 4 GB, they say the RAM capacity is 8 GB. Okay, price wise, if this is costing 20,000, 20K, the 4 GB RAM is going to cost what? 40K, and the 8 GB RAM is going to cost what? 60K. I said my intention was to buy the computer so that I can start the programming languages. Something like I thought to start the Python language at the time. So I was asking them whether which computers, I mean, which capacity of RAM is highly suitable for learning the programming language. Okay? Everyone, the business people, they always suggest to go for the higher price, right? Always suggest to go for the higher price, something like 80K. The RAM capacity should be more than 4K, or it is ideally okay to have 8 GB of RAM, right? So the let us come back to our subject. Our subject is what? Less memory. Okay, the Sun microsystem wants to develop a programming language that is going to consume less memory. Ideally, which is the affordable for the middle class family, for the people like us. Ideally, which is always preferable. When it is less in price, it is always preferable. But it is not like you can do all the things with this less memory. But the idea here is, the intention here is, the Sun Microsystems wants to develop a software language that is going to be supported even in the less capacity of RAM. Right? That is the requirement. Because it is going to get beneficial for the normal people. Right? So when I say this program is a simple programming language must consume what? The less memory. Less memory consumption should be noticed. Based on this requirement, okay, they started developing a programming language under the green project by considering what? By considering the less memory. Okay, when there is what? Less memory, what is the advantages of having the less memory? The cost is going to be less. Cost is going to be, remember guys, always remember, simple programming language means all these points are simple programming. Should consume less execution time so that performance will be high. Less memory so that cost will be less. So you can call it simple only if you find these qualities in any things, right? At last, the less power consumption. Okay, why the less power consumption is a matter of concern? Why the less power consumption is a matter of concern? Let me give you this remote example. TV remote example. So I was using the TV remote back in my college days, right? I said I was watching the match and all. So when you look at this TV report, this TV remote is the combination of, you see only the hardware stuff, right? But it's a combination of hardware as well as it is a combination of hardware as well as software. The software is badly designed. If the software is sending a lot of instructions, for example, if you want to click the 12 channel number, if this particular software is sending n number of instructions, 1 2 3 4, right? If the software is sending n number of instructions just to after clicking 12 channel number, if this is giving n number of instructions to perform this operation, okay, to perform this operation, what happens really? This remote control is going to work with a battery, right? Okay. If the software is keep generating a lot of instructions to switch to the number 12 channel, it is going to be do what? It is going to consume more power, right? Consume more power. So when it is consuming more power, don't you think that the battery of the remote is going to get exhausted very soon? If you keep ever ready battery, if you think that is going to come for 6 months, and if the software instructions are the software is going to make a lot of instructions, okay, the hardware device is going to get heated up, and the battery consumption will be what? The battery consumption is very high than the accepted. If the battery consumption is very high, it is not economical, right? Which is going to ensure that the battery is not getting consumed much. Software application, the software should be designed in such a way that it is going to it is not going to send more number of instructions, so that the consumption will be less. Are able to follow, right? So less power consumption is what, right? So power consumption is like when the software system is interacting more with the hardware device, usually there will be more power consumption. Ideally, effective software must consume less power. So all these categories. So when you see simple programming language, you must 3 points should come into mind. It should be like the execution time should be less, the memory consumption should be less, and the power consumption should be less. When the software is satisfying all these 3 conditions, it means a programming language will become the simple programming language. So this is one of the requirement that was given by the Sun Microsystems. Okay, what are the other 2 requirements? So tightly coded programming language. Very, very interesting thing. Tightly coded. What does it mean to be a tightly coded? Tightly coded programming language. Hey guys, there is a there is the data structure called the stack data structure. I'm not sure if you have listened to this data structure in your college days. The data structure is called as what? Stack. Let me say that. Stack data structure. The purpose of the stack data structure is it is just like, for example, in your college, so what you actually do, if you're submitting your records or any homework, whatever it is, okay, the books are arranged one after the one on the other, right? Yes or no? Each and every books, okay, that is getting submitted will be placed one over the other. The first book will get submitted on top of this, the second book, right, and the third book, right, the fourth book. Okay. So this is a kind of data structure. This is a kind of what in computers. This is a kind of data structure called the stack data structure. Right. the operation, okay, the moment you are adding something on this stack, the moment you're adding something on this stack, this operation is called as what? When you add something, it is called as what? The push operation. Push operation. When you add something, it is called as what? Push operation. Adding something, right? And when you want to remove something from the stack data structure, okay, removing means you cannot remove directly from the bottom. You have to remove from the top because the data structure is like that. The arrangement is like that. All the books are stacked up on each other. If you want to remove the book, you have to remove from the top because the teacher is going to correct the books from the top, right? She is not going to pick the books randomly because that is going to topple the structure, book structure. So the moment you remove this, the remove operation is called as what? The pop operation. Okay, removing the element. And the last operation is called, okay, the teacher as can able to see which book is placed on the top, right? The topmost book is always visible for the teacher who is the whose book is on top of the rack or the top of the stack. Okay, that function is called as what? Peak operation. Okay, very simple. Okay, I just want you to understand the purpose of tightly coded. I'm just giving you the example of stack data structure. It is just like you can design this kind of program in the Java. So there are three operations in the stack. Push operation is there, pop operation is there, the peak operation is there. Push means adding, pop means removing, peak means seeing which book is at the top. Right? If you want to develop this kind of data structure by using the C or C++ programming language. You want to write a code to develop this kind of data structure by using C or C++ programming language. You want to develop the stack programming language by using the C programming language. If you want to develop the stack structure by using the C or C++ programming language, how many lines of code it is going to consume? Let's see. For the stack operation, okay, for push, we need to write at least 50 lines of code by using C. 50 lines of code, right? And for the pop operation, and again you need to write 50 lines of code. And for the peak operation, and again you need to write 50 lines of code by using what? C or C++ programming language. Okay, if you want to if you want to write a logic for the stack operation by using Java, if you prefer Java, if you go with Java, you can complete this in only 4 lines of code. Like what? You can create a class called stack, and don't worry about this coding part and all. I'm just trying to help you to understand what is tightly coded programming language. We are going to see everything in detail in the future classes. Okay? So by using Java, when you go with Java, so this is how the coding part of Java is going to be like. The push, okay, you're going to add any element like book. Okay, for the pop, okay, the book will be removed, that the topmost book will be removed, and the for the peak, the topmost book can be seen. Okay, by using Java, only 4 lines are enough. 4 lines are enough or by using Java. Okay, so what does the definition is? What does the definition really mean? The definition says if any programming language takes more number of lines to achieve something. To achieve something. Any programming language that takes more number of lines to achieve something is called as loosely coupled, not loosely coupled, loosely coded language. Programming language. Example, what are the examples? C and C++. You want to implement the stack operation by using C and C++, it's going to take more number of lines. Likewise, if any programming language is going to take less number of lines, going to take instead of more, less number of lines to achieve something, it is called as tightly coded language. Okay, example what? Java. Okay, so the two important requirements are understood from the the green project. Okay, what is the last one? The last requirement. Okay, we have understood what is the simple programming language. We understood what is tightly coupled. The last one is what the architecture neutral. This is very interesting. Architecture. Okay. So when I say architecture neutral, let me take a computer, guys. I want you to understand what is architecture neutral. So this is my computer. Okay. So when you are purchasing computers, we always want to do a lot of changes, a lot of enhancements actually. Yes or no? A lot of enhancement we actually do. What kind of enhancement we do? For example, let me say that I am writing my first Java program. This is my computer. This is my CPU. My CPU is like this. So we are discussing about what is architecture neutral. So I have written my first Java program, and the name of the Java program is what? A.java. So it has been executed successfully. It has been executed successfully, and the output is something like hello world. After the execution, this is the output hello world. Right? So when my desktop specifications, my desktop architecture, I can say, my desktop specifications are divided into two parts. One is what? The hardware part. Okay, and the second one is what? Software. Right? When I say hardware, my computer has a capacity of 4 GB RAM. Right? And the SD capacity of 500 GB hard disk. Okay, and I have the Ryzen processor. These are my hardware specifications, and when it comes to software specifications, I am using what? 32-bit OS, 32-bit operating system, and it is Windows operating system. Okay. The combination of hardware and software is called as what? The computer architecture. Combination of what? Combination of hardware and software. Two combinations. This two combination is called as what? You call it as what? The architecture. Architecture. What is it? Computer architecture. Computer architecture. Combination of hardware plus whereas software components is called as computer architecture. But the green project team, what they want to develop a programming language that should be architectural neutral. What does it mean to be architectural neutral? Right? So architectural neutral. Very simple. So this is my actual architecture. In future, sometimes I find that my computer performance is very less. My computer is facing the less in performance because I have installed a lot of softwares. I have downloaded a lot of movies, and the memory size is about to get exhausted. Because of that, my performance is affected. Due to that, what I have decided is I decided to enhance my hardware as well as enhance my software. Okay? I went to the computer shop and I asked him to upgrade my computer, to upgrade my desktop. He suggested me to to increase the performance, go for 8 GB RAM, go for 1 TB, 1 TB SD, and go for choose the Intel processor. So there are some changes to my hardware. He made some changes to my hardware as well as he did some changes to my software as well. Yes. For my software, what kind of changes he done? Instead of 64-bit OS, he suggested me to go 32-bit OS. He suggested me to go for 64-bit operating system. Okay, and the those remain same. Okay, so this is my new hardware specification. This is my upgrade. This is my enhancement. I have just increased the capacity of my computer. I did some enhancement. This is my old hardware. This is my old architecture, and this is my new architecture. Okay, but at the time of making these changes, my code is already there. My Java program is already there in my computer, and when I just execute the Java program, my output is always hello world. This is a simple Java program in my computer. But this program was developed when I was using this hardware. When I was using this hardware, I have developed this program and I have saved somewhere in the system. You will follow. Okay, but due to my requirement, due to my due to the enhancements, due to the actual enhancement, right? So this program was developed when I was using this old architecture. Right? But after changing my architecture, after making some enhancement to the new architecture, this program will never affected. This program will remain the same. It will not have any impact on this program. You can execute the program just like you have executed before. It does not have any dependency like you should run this program only on this hardware, only on this architecture, because you have developed this Java program by using this architecture, so that you should run this program only on this architecture. It is not like that. No matter on what computer architecture you have developed this program, still it would support to execute on the new hardware specifications. Okay? That's why we call it as what? Architectural neutral. What does it mean? No matter if you make changes to your architecture, the language will remain same. It will function as it is meant to be. Are you able to follow? So this is the importance about architecture neutral. You can write the code in the if you want, you can write a Java code today. I mean, for example, in your desktop, and tomorrow you are saving that code somewhere in your system. And if you are changing your architecture, the program will not get affected. The program will execute just like that. It is completely independent of the hardware structure. That's why it is called as what? Architectural neutral. Every program must be an architectural neutral. When it is an architecture neutral, then it can be called as the what? The the what we call it as the simple programming language. Right? So these are the three requirements that was identified by the Green project. So they started developing developing a programming language. That they did not name that programming language. They started developing it by considering these three agenda. What is the last one? Latest one? Architectural. What is architectural neutral? I just explained it to you, right? What is architectural neutral? Any software or any in simple words, I can say that when a programming language is dependent of hardware and software specifications and enhancements, it is called as architectural programming language. Right? So what you have studied so far today? So far we have class 2. So we started discussing about Java history, right? So when the first Java edition was introduced in the market, 1996 January 23rd, 1.0, right? How the Java program, what is the main intention for developing the Java programming language? So there was a requirement in the Sun Microsystems. They want to develop software for electronic devices. It can be like remote control, SkyDs, or traffic device signal. They've created a 30-member team, and James Gosling is the team leader. And Patrick nothing is as good as James Gosling, but James Gosling is considered as the father of Java, right? And they want that programming. The Green project want that programming language to be what? To be like the simple one, tightly coded programming language, and architectural neutral. And again, when it's simple one, simple programming language has to satisfy these three conditions: less execution time, less memory, less power consumption. We have understood these things with some examples, and then we also understood what is tightly coded programming language. Any programming language takes more number of lines to achieve something. It's called as loosely coupled, loosely coded programming language. And if the same programming language that takes less lines of code, it is called as tightly coded programming language. So stack is the example. When I say stack, stack is nothing but the data structure, right? Don't worry about the stack and all. So this is for the theory purpose. We are going to see this in detail. Stack is a data structure. So there are three operations: push operation, pop, and peek operation. Adding something, removing the element, and seeing what is on the top. Peek is seeing what is on the top. Right? To achieve that data structure by using the programming language, the program is going to take this many number of lines. But Java, you can achieve that in 4 lines. Okay. And again, what is architecture neutral? When a programming language is independent of hardware and software specifications and enhancements, it's called as architecture. Okay. So that's all for the today's class. And, from tomorrow we are going to see more about the history. Then we will start to understand the major difference between the Java and other programming language. At least you will get 25 interview questions in this second. Right? So that's all from my side. If you have any questions, you can please feel free to ask me. And thank you so much for it.